We're back. Oh, wow. I'm so much lower than I thought I was going to be. All right. Let's try it again. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So, we're back. While I wait for funds to save up for the Rampage motor swap, I have a side project that I wanted to film, a little DIY. Let me give you the scope of this project here. I want to film some skits. I've always wanted to film skits, honestly, since like middle school. I mean, what kid didn't want to like film little jackass videos with their friends? Like that's what every kid did and wanted to do. And I still want to do that to some degree, not jackass style, more just like comedy, safer, you know. I don't have to hurt myself as much. I already do that enough with the BMX thing. But I don't want to do skits the way that everybody else does skits, because what's the point if you're doing that, you know? You gotta put your own spin on it a little bit. To put my own spin on it, I began the hunt for a camera. Now, I had some requirements for this camera, for skits specifically. I wanted a standard definition camera, so records in 480p instead of HD, basically. Standard definition instead of high definition. From my experience watching funny videos, a lot of low-quality videos just hit, whereas if they had been filmed good, I don't know if it would have been as funny. So, standard definition was the first requirement for me. Second requirement was I wanted a CCD color sensor in it, because the colors look so much better with one of those than a Bayer filter. But also handheld. I didn't want to buy like a big VX camera or something like that. So, standard definition, 3CCD, handheld. Also, I kind of had a lot of requirements for this thing. I didn't want to do tapes. I don't want to capture tapes. I don't want to have to buy tapes. I wanted it to record onto an SD card, which limits me to really just a few years when the industry was switching over from tapes in standard definition to HD cameras on SD cards. There wasn't a lot of cameras in that window that were both SD and standard. It was usually, if you were standard, you were recording to like a tape or a disc, and if you were HD, you recorded onto a memory card in like the early 2000s. So, already very limited there. But that was another requirement. And then lastly, I wanted to have a mic output, so I could hook up these external mics to get better audio, because while I think bad video quality can make things funnier, I don't think like really bad audio really helps that much, unless it's like super distorted and blown out on purpose. That can be funnier, but just like generally shitty audio quality, I do not think that makes it better. So I want a good audio, want a bad video, basically. There's really only one camera I could find that fits this bill, and that is this Canon FS100 from like 2004 or something. This thing checks all the boxes. It's standard definition, 480p, records to an SD card. The biggest you can put in it is a 32 gigabyte. It has a 3 CCD sensor. It's handheld, and it's got a really long toggle zoom. And a good toggle zoom, I think, is essential for skits, because that quick zoom in on people's face for reactions and stuff, I think, is key. The reason this is like a DIY video is because so to use this thing, I don't want to film like this, right? I want to use this for like Reels, Shorts, TikToks, that sort of thing, which means I want to record like this, which is not the worst position ever, but it's not a great line of sight to see the LCD screen, and then holding it like this is not comfortable. And also, if you're holding it like this, your mic input that's right inside the door here is just going to be dangling, unless you like wrap it around your hand somewhere or something. There's no cold shoe on here to mount any hardware. So that makes it hard. And then also, I still want to have a finger on this toggle zoom when I'm filming. So this is really the only position you can do, which it looks dumb and it's not great. So I want to make a handle for it that will allow me to have a finger on the toggle zoom, but also be able to hold the camera in a position that looks better, or that lets you see the LCD screen better. So I'm thinking that's like this. And then it does have like a tripod mount right here. Right now I've got a tripod mount on there. But basically I'm thinking I need to have some kind of a handle that wraps around this, or makes like an L right here on the side of the body, that I can hold the camera something like this. Maybe have a handle like right here, so like it's a two-hand type thing. And then also have a cold shoe on it, so that when I mount a mic, I can actually mount it to it instead of it like dangling or being velcroed on there or something like that. So that's the project. I have some supplies and some ideas, but I don't really know how I'm going to do it, so we're going to be figuring it out together. I bought some metal, some like welding metal. I was going to buy some aluminum, but I kind of wanted to go with steel because it's a little heavier, and this camera is really light. So a little bit of added weight will actually make it easier to film steady. So yeah, we got this piece of metal, got this camera. I need to make some kind of an L out of this, and then be able to mount this quick release handle on the left side, and then also mount a cold shoe somewhere on it. So we got some work to do. We're going to be using this bench in the back of the garage. I haven't filmed anything at this bench yet. I think this is going to become my little like tinkering hobby, small electronics little area. And then up front will remain like car stuff and, you know, the lawn and garden section, that sort of thing. So anyway, I'll do some close-ups of all this stuff, and we'll dive in. So here's that camera, the Canon FS 100. Pretty sick. You can see in there I got a mic out and a video out, which I'll probably never use, but sweet little toggle zoom on the front here. Makes a cute little sound when you turn it on. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that cute? See, it does have an optical zoom in there. So this is our little, I think, quarter 20 tripod mount that we're working with, that we need to adapt to so that we can hold the camera this way. Here's our bar stock of steel. Guess we're gonna have to do some measuring here. First, we need to see where this camera is going to mount on this piece of metal. So I'm gonna come just a little bit further than I need to give me a little wiggle room. And then we'll mark it there. I need to see how long I want this contraption to be. Mounts like that, bend the metal so it's like that. And I want my other hand maybe here, something like that. Let's see how long that is. So like 10 inches there. My first mark, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's almost right at 2 inches here. Which means if I want it about 10 inches, I need to make the other mark at about 12. Yeah, so I think 12 inches is about it. It'll be about a foot, and then 2 inches bent on each side. All right. Let's cut some metal. next up, we're gonna try and bend this piece of metal. Oh, baby. All right, well, we got one bend. All right, let's see if that works. So, I don't know how much of that metal cutting and bending was in focus, but this is what we got. I think it'll work all right. I mean, it's not perfectly bent, but for an angle grinder and a shaky vise, I think it'll do just fine. Once we get it fabbed up, I'm gonna take it back apart and paint it, but for now, this is what we're gonna work with. Really need to put a little vise on this bench. But until then, or this little vise on the sawhorse will suffice. I believe I want it like this. I think this is what we're going for right here. Oh. Wow. I think this 11/16 bit is just shot. See if I can get any closer with this impact. All right. Much better. Ta-da! Wow, this is hot again. It's a 4. It's a 40. I guess I could also go ahead and drill the hole for the other side. Alright, back from a quick lunch break to messing with this guy. I'm not totally satisfied with this setup so far. I've got a quick release handle here on this like nano rail, I guess is what it would be called. And then on this side, I got the camera going into that 1/4-20 I was talking about, just on this bent piece of metal. The next thing I need to do is drill another hole in the top of this for the cold shoe that I want to mount onto it. Drilled a couple more 1/4-inch holes in this thing, just kind of eyeballed it. They're not even that lined up, but I don't really care. This cold shoe that I got here, I thought had threads in it. It does not. And this does not have threads in it at all. It's just a hole. So to mount this on here, I need the 1/4-20 bolt that goes through the middle. But now I also need a nut on the back side. So I'm gonna go see if I can find one. Found a nut to sit on the back side of this cold shoe. So just gonna get it tightened up. All right, boom, now we got a cold shoe right there in the middle. I actually might move it to this hole closer to the camera, but that will work for now, at least to get it mocked up. Yeah, so that worked, which is awesome. So this is basically ready to go now. Yeah, I guess that's about it for this little DIY handle. At least for now. Hopefully this will make it more comfortable to film a skit with this thing, as opposed to the way it was set up, just handheld, you know, and hopefully a little more stable as well.